is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
and we are ready to rock and roll live from Sports Grill here in Miami Lakes. We are getting ready for a little Dolphins and Bills. We are ready for you to come on over and have a great brunch. Whether you want to have a little breakfast or you want to have a little lunch, the option is yours. So come on out. Join us. Sean Stanley by my side. We've got the great staff here at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes ready. So come on by, have a delicious breakfast. I mean, the chef does an awesome job. The French toast are off the chain. The chicken and waddles are just absolutely amazing. I mean, really, you got to come on out and experience this brunch here at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. I know this is a game that we are kind of fearing. It's a game that we get kind of nervous, but we'll talk about it, and hopefully we will get a good performance from the team. That would be really, really nice. I mean, it's been a pretty solid weekend overall. The Miami Hurricanes defeat the Pitt Panthers yesterday. That was a terrific game. Congratulations to the Canes, and congratulations to Manny Diaz, because I've done my share of criticizing Manny Diaz because he has been an absolute disaster. But when people do well, we have to go out of our way and make sure that we give them credit just like we criticize them. And there's a lot of love to be given to Manny Diaz because of what's happened the last 2 weeks. You've beaten two ranked opponents. The young kids are playing. The team is playing hard for him the last 2 weeks, and the young guys are coming through, and you got a quarterback that is absolutely balling, dude. So, on behalf of all of us on this show, kudos to Manny Diaz, because it's part of adversity. And when you hit adversity, you have to try to find a way to figure it out. And I'm not saying that Manny Diaz has figured it out by any stretch, but my Lord, let's give him some credit for starting here. Maybe he is starting to figure it out. Maybe his team will start to get better and play more consistent and not make which that's what they're doing. They're playing more consistent. They're better now. They're not making nearly as many mistakes as they used to. So let's just give them a little love here, because they deserve it after beating a hell of a quarterback who, by the way, had a great game. Pickett had a great game, 500 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he threw 2 interceptions. That's twice as many interceptions as he threw all year so far to that point. So the Canes got him to do something he had never done in a game so far this year, throw 2 interceptions. Pretty impressive by the team. And then Tyler Van Dyke really looks like a player, man. 426 yards, 3 touchdowns, an interception, and a ton of moxie. I mean, a ton of moxie. So if we're going to be critical, we must be complimentary, and we must give Manny Diaz a little love for that performance and what they're doing. Jalen Knighton, Tyreek Stevenson, just give the kids credit, man. They're playing well, and I got to say, hey, man, win or lose, this is how I am. I know a lot of you are the same way. I'm going through the tough times with the Dolphins. I'm going through the tough times with the Canes. Doesn't mean I'm going to turn off the television. Doesn't mean I'm going to not watch them. Doesn't mean I'm not going to support them. Doesn't mean I won't buy a T-shirt. I won't buy a hat. Won't buy a ticket. Well, whatever it is, I will support my teams no matter what. But I love seeing the adversity and overcoming that adversity. That, to me, it's a lot of what I saw in Tua last week. You threw the interceptions, but then you took the responsibility of bringing your team back and giving them the lead, which shows me, which I keep telling you guys a lot, that's when I start to see and believe in a quarterback if he can play under chaos, when things aren't going well. Well, now we're watching Manny Diaz coach under chaos, and he is now coaching, and his team is playing better after all the chaotic things that have happened for 2+ seasons. So I all I can hope for is that this continues from here on out. Okay? I'm not rooting for Manny Diaz to get fired. Not that he was going to get fired at the end of the year. And by the way, With these 2 wins, you can guarantee that there will be no changes at the end. There wasn't going to be any changes anyways because this university is not going to swallow 2 years of salary. Not going to happen. But it's the same thing as Flo. I had a listener send me a text, right? And he was right. Okay, and you were right, sir. I didn't get your name. Always try to put your name and where you're sending me where you're watching, where you're sending this text from, tweet from, DM, whatever it is. I always love to know. But the gentleman goes, "You say you don't want Flo fired, but you talk about him like you want him fired." And I put an LOL because it's right. He's right. I mean, I've been ripping Flo thoroughly, but I don't say that you got to fire him because I saw the first 2 years and I was really happy with the first 2 years. So I want to see him do a little bit of what Manny Diaz is doing now. Manny Diaz is trying to fight out of the chaotic situation that he's been in, right? And the last 2 weeks, we have to say, he's climbing a little bit out of the hole. Has he climbed out of the hole? Are we convinced that he's the guy and all? No, but damn, dude, let's give him a little love. Well, it's time for Flo. It's time for Flo, man. You got the back end of this season now, right? It's 10 games that are left. With today is 10. Well, you got to start showing us that you can fight out of the chaos. Your quarterback did it last week. He fought out of the chaos. And that's what this is all about now. This is how, and yes, the way I've talked about Flo, yeah, it kind of sounds like I want him fired, which I don't, but I have to be fair, right? Even in being critical, I have to be fair. I have to be fair that I disagree that you've kept Albert Wilson on the roster and you've actually played him over Mac Hollins. I have to disagree that it took you this long to move Austin Jackson. I have to disagree with the way you handled the quarterback situation. I have to disagree at the way you've handled the whole Watson rumors. I have to disagree with a lot of things that Flo has done this year. This love affair with Malcolm Brown, which really, give people the due that they earned, and that's Myles Gaskin. Myles Gaskin did not deserve for you to turn your attention to Malcolm Brown after he's paid his dues. Play the man. And when he fails, then you go to Malcolm Brown. But first, give him the opportunity to succeed or fail. So I can continue to talk about a ton of things that Flo has done wrong, and I have to be objective about it. I have to point it out. As much as I like Flo and what I love what he did the first 2 years, I hate what he's done so far in the first 6-7 weeks. They're 1-6, right? I just get so confused because it's so many losses. So, huh? Yeah, that's right. Right, that's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So you're 1-6, and then this is the 8th week. Exactly. It's just there's a lot of stuff that I'm pissed off at, but I still want him to figure it out. You know what I mean? I do. At the end of the year, we will talk about another issue if it continues to be so dysfunctional. Then maybe we'll be talking about that. Yeah, I'm no longer on the Flo bandwagon, but I want Flo to figure it out, man. This whole revolving door of general manager and head coach, I don't want it. I don't want it to continue. I want it to end already. I want us to find the people that they need in order to turn the organization around. And they still have 10 games. I'll tell you this. When this team has a lot to prove, the coaching staff has a lot to prove. But this is your opportunity, man. This is it right here. If you care about winning your fans back and winning the trust back, because that's the worst part about this whole start to this. You destroyed everything you built the first 2 years. And I know that we sometimes disagree on some of the things that are going on. I still think the real problem on this team is coaching more than anything else. I think it's an incredibly weak staff. And Flo has to prove that not only he can coach and he can turn the team around and he can get them to win and all that kind of stuff, but he also has to prove that he can put a staff together. Because if you can't put a staff together, you can't coach in the NFL. You're just not going to be able to handle every position. You're not going to be able to manage everything going on as the head coach. It's impossible. So there's a lot to prove over the next 10 weeks, over the next 10 games. Let's hope that they can get it done, man. Let's hope so. Joe Shad, by the way, is set to join us in a couple of minutes here. Don't forget, folks, plenty of ways to contribute to the program on the text line 855-912-1056. YouTube, of course, we've got the YouTube chat board going on right now. You got a comment, you can send it in. Yahoo email, BigORadioshow@yahoo.com. Twitter, Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, you want to make a donation, it's Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. By the way, congratulations to the Miami Heat improving to 5-1 with a 129-103 dominating performance against Memphis on a back-to-back night. Dude, that was awesome. That was awesome. Great stuff. I was really impressed with the Caleb Martin kid. We'll get into that tomorrow on the program, but congrats to the Heat. Panthers, their streak, unfortunately, was broken. They are now 8-0-1 as they lost in a shootout to the Bruins last night, but still picked up a point, so it's not too bad. Barkov and Duclair had goals, and Knight allowed 2 goals in that one. They play Washington on Thursday, so don't have to worry about the record anymore at this point. And then Inter Miami, 1 game away from ending the season in New England. Next Sunday, they lose to NYCFC yesterday, 3-1. So that dysfunctional season cannot end quick enough, obviously, with Inter Miami. They really need to go back to the drawing board and see if they can actually correct the issues of this team. All right, a team that's got some issues, that is the Miami Dolphins. A man that covers the Miami Dolphins on a daily basis for the Palm Beach Post, and of course, joins us throughout the week exclusively here on the Big O Radio Show, is the one and only Joe Shad. That is coming up next with our AmericanDreamLending.com Miami Dolphins Weekly Report.
Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins Report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending Report.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, that is Joe Shad, baby. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe. There he is. Joe, you don't have a top. Did they shave off the top of your head or something? What's going on there? There we go. There we go. There's the adjustments. I like it. There we go. Now we've got the whole look there. How you feeling, bud? How cold is it up there?
Could always be worse, Big O. A little rain this morning, but we'll get up to 50 or even over 50, so I'll take it.
Oh, that's good. Oh, dude, that's great football weather, actually. It's not – I mean, it's bad for us wussies because we would hit each other in the 50s and we would be, ow, all that in South Florida. But for big, tough guys like them, 50s keeps them fresh, man. They're not all, all sweaty and stuff like that, so it's good stuff. 50s is a good thing. All right, Joe. Talk to us a little bit about the whole Watson situation now. Reports are saying it looks like Houston's going to stay with the player, which really is no surprise here. Really, to trade for a guy with all these issues still pending makes no sense whatsoever. What have you heard overall about the status of this trade?
Yeah, I mean, there were some interesting reports this morning. First, ESPN's Adam Schefter says that the Texans are willing to hold on to Deshaun Watson, which is no surprise if they don't get what they want, as badly as they'd like to move on from the player. I would suppose they would be willing to hold on to him and trade him in the offseason. But then, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport says that the Dolphins continue to have discussions with the Texans and that both sides are still open to a trade. Well, that's not surprising either. If for some reason circumstances change, the Texans feel that the Dolphins' offer is satisfactory, the Dolphins gain some sort of increased comfort level with Watson's legal situation, which does seem unrealistic. I mean, we're now, two days away from the trading deadline. So if you're asking my opinion, my gut feeling, my educated opinion, it's that the trade is less likely to occur than to occur, but not completely. I have not been told that it's completely impossible.
Your thoughts? I thought Dave Hyde had an excellent article today talking about it, and I've talked about it on my show all week. That personally for me, I think Stephen Ross has used terrible judgment in just allowing his team to be associated in these talks with all of this pending. I think it's a terrible look. And in a week where the Panthers had to fire their coach because he was part of a cover-up of a sexual assault, it's just a terrible look for the Miami Dolphins. Your thoughts on that?
Well, my colleague Cal Habib also wrote a story linking the Quenville situation to the Watson situation. And it was an interesting column, although I think every situation is different. And I don't necessarily think that the Dolphins should discontinue their interest in Deshaun Watson because of what happened to a Blackhawks player 11 years ago. I think they need to make their own decision and need to do their own research. They need to do their own investigating. As for why the Dolphins would allow to continue to be associated with Watson, even if they're not comfortable pulling the trigger before Tuesday's trading deadline, let's just use some logic and common sense here. Let's suppose that the Dolphins love the scenario that Watson is not traded and that he stays on the Texans roster. Well, this is a good thing, right? First, you get to see Tua Tagovailoa play the remainder of the season, see if he makes the kind of improvements that most folks might not expect, maybe have to make the trade for the guy. And also, by not putting out through national or local media that at this time they're removing themselves from the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, they are not offending Deshaun Watson, which could then damper the current status, which is that the only team Watson has approved the trade to is Miami. So if you think you might be interested in acquiring Watson at some point, why would you want to put out that you're not interested in acquiring him now? If anything, that could change the dynamics and make Watson less appealed to joining Miami.
Yeah, I just find it dirty that you're catering to the guy when he could be guilty. That would be, I don't know. It just seems
he's that good. He's that good, though. I mean, he's the second highest passer rating of any quarterback in NFL history, and 80% of winning in this league is having the best quarterback. So it's important to have a good coach. It's important to have a good GM and left tackle and edge rusher. But the teams that win in this league have premier quarterback play. The fact that the Dolphins have removed themselves from this publicly or privately tells you they're not sure if Tua can be that guy.
No, actually, I disagree with you there. They're sure he's not that guy. They're convinced he's not that guy. It's over for Tua in Miami. I mean, that's clear. If you continue these negotiations, he's nothing but Ryan Fitzpatrick, just younger. All he is a bridge to Watson at this point. That ship has sailed with Tua. Okay, that's for sure. That's over with
Things
Tua.
Change.
And Tua,
Things change.
Tua,
Things change.
Actually, I don't think it should change. I think if I'm Tua and I'm Lee Steinberg, I'm out of here the first chance I get. So either way, the Dolphins are going to pay the price. If he develops like Breeze did late, then all of a sudden he's going to turn around and give them the finger and say, "Nah, I'm not interested. I'm out of here. You guys are idiots. You don't know how to handle a quarterback. You don't know how to bring along a quarterback." They've ruined this relationship already. I mean, there's no reason for Tua to ever want to play for Brian Flores ever again. Don't you think?
No, I disagree with that. I think that he always wanted to play in Miami, and that almost any situation is salvageable. You see it all the time where hockey players hate each other's guts. They beat each other up on the ice, and then once they became teammates, you know what I mean? All
Yeah,
bygones is bygones. Water. What I'm saying is, in sports, the concept of water under the bridge is all too familiar.
yeah, and I wish we would stop using that BS about, oh, he wanted to play here. He got drafted here, Joe. If he got drafted for the Bucks, he would have wanted to play for them. And if he got drafted for Green Bay, or if he
No,
got
he
drafted in
campaigned to
Carolina,
play
he
in
would have
Miami.
wanted to play wherever
Big up.
wherever they drafted him. He's not that guy. He's going to say all the right
No,
things every single
he,
time.
he campaigned in the same way Eli Manning and John Elway once said they weren't going to play for the team that picked them. If they did pick them, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about? Tua went
yeah.
the other way. He campaigned to play for Miami. It was he and his family and his agency's wish. He like LeVar Ball would say, spoke it into existence.
Yeah, I think they kind of knew that Miami was the first team that would pick them, so that's why they went that way, because they knew they weren't going to go in the earlier picks. I don't know, man. That part I just, by the way, how'd you think
Well,
Flo
today
handled?
is fascinating. Yeah,
Huh?
go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to today, but
No. You want to ask me about the press conference? Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I wasn't
how,
there on Friday. I did watch the press conference. I know a lot of people are very excited about the fact that Brian Flores was pressed, and that's fine. I
he
have
should be
no
pressed.
issue.
I'm glad they did. I'm glad they
I'm,
pressed him.
I'm saying I have no issue with Brian Flores being pressed. I think that there's a chance that if at some point Tua is not the quarterback for the 2021 season, that he would say, you guys misinterpreted what I meant. You guys went too far with saying that I said he's my quarterback for 2021. You know what I mean? With that
Right,
whole
right.
sort of part about mitigating factors such as injury, because it seemed like he was about to say, well, anything could happen, anything could change.
Right,
And
right,
then one of the reporters said, well, like injury? And he said, yeah, like injury. You know what I mean?
right.
So, look, we are not beholden to any comments. The Cardinals once said Josh Rosen is our guy. What did that mean? Nothing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but
So,
I'm glad because
yeah,
it was a
I
moment.
think
It was a moment that was needed. I'm sorry.
I guess. If you got what you want, that's fine. I'm not sure what it means. Do you believe that barring injury, Tua Tagovailoa will be the Dolphins quarterback in 2021, which means that if they were to still acquire Deshaun Watson, that they would make the choice to shelve him for the season? Do you believe that's what that means? That they would shelve Watson for the season?
Quite frankly, I think Flo already knew at that press conference on Friday that they weren't trading for Watson anyway. So he was comfortable in kind of saying, yeah, he'll be the quarterback for the rest of this season, barring, of course, an injury. Because I think they know pretty much they're not going to end up making that deal right now because there's too much crap pending and they're not going to take less, which is probably what Miami's doing right now. Miami's trying to go with the low-hanging fruit. They're trying to get him for less. And they're going, hey, we'll take less. Well, we'll take the risk, but we got to give you less to take the risk. If you're taking the risk now, if he is guilty, then in the offseason, we won't be able to make this trade. This is your opportunity now. It's like two drug dealers saying, well, okay, you bring the stuff up to the Keys, and I'll take it from the Keys on. No. I'm going to bring it to Panama Canal, and you got to meet me halfway there, and you can bring it back and take the responsibility. It's kind of like that. You know what I mean? It's a terrible analogy because I'm using a drug dealer. But what I'm saying is that's probably what the Dolphins are doing. They're playing with the Texans and trying to get low-hanging fruit at this point in time, and they know they're not going to get the low-hanging fruit. So Tua is your starter for the rest of the year.
It's certainly unlikely, but let's just say at 9:30 in the morning, Nick Caserio calls Chris Greer and says, you know what? My owner wants this done. 3 number ones, and that's it. Now let's do it. And Chris says, okay. Well, then what? Then they're going to have the press conference, and what are they going to say? You said that Tua was the quarterback for the rest of the year. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. You guys said I said that. You guys said I said that. Yeah, I could hear it. Dude, I have a good sense for what guys are probably going to say. I have a good sense for what guys are probably going to say, and I have a good sense for what they usually end up saying.
You're right.
So if they said, they'll say circumstances changed. This is an opportunity we didn't think was going to happen. And my guess would be, but our plan is to not play him right now. We're going to hold him on the roster as an asset. Now, do you think they would play him next Sunday?
Oh, well, I don't think they play him that quickly.
If he was eligible.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'd play him that quickly, only because he does have to kind of learn the playbook a little bit, and you want to give him a little time to kind of get some practices under his belt. So I doubt you'd start him right the same week you acquire him. I think
my
you would
guess
wait.
Is they would shelve him. They would say that he's going to focus on becoming a better person and handling his legal issues. Write that down. If it happens, that's what I'm going to say. That's my prediction.
How bad of a PR move will it be for the Dolphins if you acquire a guy with all of that hanging?
Well, think about what I just said. What if you say you're going to sit him out for the year and he's going to focus on becoming a better person and resolving his legal issues?
I don't
massage some of the criticism?
Not at all. Not at all. The only thing that's going to massage is 45 touchdowns. That's the only thing that's going to massage. No,
to be clear, I used
if you acquire a guy with all the yeah, I know it's a great pun, but what I'm saying is that if you acquire a guy that has all these legal issues and sits there, and now all these legal issues are there, now you carry that burden, and every update that comes with it comes tied to Miami Dolphins to it. I think it's a terrible move on your part, and you're basically telling your female fan base, yeah, we don't believe in women that accuse men of sexual assault. Women have no credibility in our eyes. I mean, it's about the most insensitive thing you can do by making this acquisition without knowing the facts and knowing the end results of these cases.
I think that Stephen Ross has probably read the criticism from Dave Hyde, Greg Cody, Hal Habib. He is probably aware of the fact that 80% plus of Dolphin fans would prefer not to trade for him. The Dolphins are going to make decisions based on media and public criticism, but I do think that they are aware and that plays a role in their decision, even if it's a small role. In the same way, I feel that all the tank for Tua stuff played a role in their enthusiasm about selecting him. Even if it's subconscious. Don't you?
Right.
I mean, it's just human nature. If every fan and every media member is banging the table for Tua, and all these experts like, Dan Orlovsky and those guys on ESPN and NFL Network are saying, Tua has the it factor. He's so much better. There's no way you can take him over Justin Herbert. You can't help but imagine that plays a factor in the decision.
All right, I'm not going to ask you for a prediction because we know
a lot to a little.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. Your thoughts on Tua's play the last 2 weeks and what he needs to do today?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple of bad interceptions, Big O. We both know that, but he's also shown that he can throw the ball accurately. He can play especially good in a tempo offense. Let's see some tempo today. Let's see some, shotgun, no huddle tempo. Why not, right? I mean, you're 1-6. I mean, let's see it. Every time they go no tempo, shotgun, tempo, he seems to have success. And, he's going to lean on Gesicki and he's going to lean on Jalen Waddle. I'd like to see some deeper routes for Jalen Waddle. But, it's the Falcons and the Jaguars, so let's see what he does against the Bills. He has a chance to make a statement today. I'm not suggesting that this Deshaun Watson thing can die if he upsets the Bills and throws for 380 yards, but maybe, right?
Yeah, maybe. You never know. You never know. Follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe. More importantly, catch his work there at the Palm Beach Post and subscribe and support Joe and all the great journalists that do an excellent job of covering South Florida. Joe, as always, my brother, thank you, sir. Looking sharp. Safe travels. We'll see you back here next week.
See you, Big O.
You got it. There you go. The great Joe Shad. We love him. All right. It's a beautiful thing. So there you go. That is our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
All right, we are back, and we are at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. Come on by. This is our final week here at the Miami Lakes location. We'll be at the next 9 games. We're going to be at the Bird Road location. We'll be doing the pre- and post-game show out there. We got the inactives for the game today. Trill Williams, Preston Williams, Sheldrick Redwine, Jerome Baker, Greg Little, Hunter Long, and John Jenkins are your inactives for the game today. Again, Trill and Preston Williams, Sheldrick Redwine, the former UM safety, Jerome Baker, Greg Little, Hunter Long, and John Jenkins are out. And, Preston Williams, that's one that it's kind of like a fuse. Remember when they'd light the fuse at the beginning of Mission Impossible? Yeah, that's the fuse going on with Preston. And last week when he had that drop and they pulled him and you never saw him from the game again, and then this week they had him running scout team, and that's basically to tell him, yeah, you're so far in the doghouse, you might be under the doghouse right now at this point in time. And I think that Preston is at a point where the coach is going to tell him, you got one more shot. The next time I put you out there, if you're dropping something, you're getting cut. Remember what happened to Jakeem Grant, right? This is what Preston Williams is next. He got his last warning. Either he's injured or he's dropping footballs. And we all know that talent-wise, the kid's got sick ability. He can play, but you got to be focused, man. And when you drop balls, that's a lack of focus. That's not a lack of talent or anything like that. You can't make the catch he made a couple weeks ago on the sidelines and then go drop a ball that you're right there on the flats. You can't do that, dude. You got to be able to be consistent and reliable. And right now, there's not a lot of reliable on this team. But Preston is a guy that has been unreliable on a consistent basis. And the flashes are no longer enough anymore. So it's nice that he's inactive this week because, one, you can't count on him anyway. And you need as many people that are reliable. I want Mac Hollins out there. I don't want Preston Williams out there. I want Mac Hollins out there. I don't want Albert Wilson out there. Albert Wilson has been stealing money without a gun and a mask all year long. He has no business being on the roster, period. So to me, I'm glad that they're doing this to Preston, and it seems to me like this is like you're on double secret probation from here on out. So, kid, this is your last chance. So the next time you see Preston Williams, it'll be up to him to determine whether that's the last time you see Preston Williams. So we'll see if he learns his lesson. As for Sheldrick Redwine, they just signed him. They probably weren't comfortable that, he would know the entire playbook and know his responsibilities and all of that. So mentally, if he hasn't had enough reps and he hasn't had enough reps physically out there on practice, that's the smart move to leave him out. And Jerome Baker, obviously, Vince Beagle was activated. And I really like Vince Beagle. I really do. Now, Vince cannot play the role that you were expecting Jerome Baker to be. But Jerome Baker has also been absolutely terrible this year after signing a monster contract. This is how he rewards the team, by playing absolutely terrible and now getting injured. So this thing's a mess. They got to find a way to straighten everything out today and play a respectable game. This is a character game. because we know the Dolphins aren't better than the Bills. We know the Dolphins don't have a better coaching staff. We know that the Dolphins don't have better talent than the Bills. We know that logically the Bills are the better team. It should be the Bills and the Bucs in the Super Bowl. Let's be honest. Those are the two best teams in the NFL. But this game's a little bit about character because you've been thoroughly embarrassed. And the beauty about this roster is a bunch of the guys were there last year when you got routed at the end of the year, right? And all the new guys were part of the 35-0 loss recently. So everybody's had a taste of it. Everybody's had their, the Bills' foot in their butts the entire time now, right? So let's see if there's a little pride. Jesse Davis, you got your quarterback killed in this game. Let's go. Step it up. Eichenberg, let's go. Step it up. That's what this game is about, a little pride. They embarrassed you at home. And I understand you're 1-6, but if you got at least some pride, go out there and play a respectable game today. I'm not asking you to win. I would love to see a win. That would be fun. I think Sports Grill would be rocking today if they get a win. But I just want a respectable performance. What I am tired of is pathetic performances. That's what I'm tired of. And I'm tired of pathetic losses, like the last couple of weeks in games you had an opportunity to win and you couldn't find a way to get it done. So I want to see what kind of pride the Miami Dolphins show me today. To me, that's going to be the important part of it all. Let's see. Did Fuller even move to Miami? He's been a ghost. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do with that? Couldn't agree more, Coach O. Thank you, Christian. The party's over. Bubba says, we need Bobby Boucher at middle linebacker. There you go. Bobby Boucher would rock it out. I'm there. We get Bobby Boucher at linebacker, and then we get what's the Tom Hanks dude? What's his name? Forrest Gump. Thank you. We get Forrest Gump at running back, right? Okay. What do you think?
I'll go with this right now. I'll see where this is going.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to improve the team here.
No, I think those are vast improvements.
Forrest can run,
especially in the linebacker position.
Oh, Boucher would knock everybody out.
He's a one-man defense right there.
That's it. And then you know what I did? You know who's the other linebacker I would get? The crazy cop from The Replacements.
Oh, yes.
You see what you know what I'm talking about? The crazy cop with you give me the crazy cop from The Replacements and Bobby Boucher. And the Dolphins would have the nastiest linebacking crew in the NFL. That's it. That's all you need. Karate chopping everybody.
Yeah. But then Xavier will get the increase in pay because it'll make him better.
Yeah. And I what the hell? Let's just add a kicker that smokes too. Right?
I don't know. Jason
Gruff.
Sanders. Jason Sanders.
Was it Gruff? Wasn't his name like something Gruff? The kicker
it was
from The Replacements?
I think it was an Irish name, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what?
But Jason Sanders hasn't been the issue. I don't know if I want to replace him.
I know, but still a kicker that smokes on the sidelines. True. I mean,
he does have a gambling problem.
He has a gambling but you know what?
We have enough stories about the Dolphins now.
Hold on a second.
Kicker that gambles.
Yeah, but he's also a spokesperson for the Hard Rock. And that's the sponsor of the stadium. So you need a degenerate to actually be on the team to represent them. And let me tell you something. If something happens to Tua, we call Shane Falco, and it's over. It's over. That's it. Lisa Rose says, I'm more worried about the defense stopping the Bills than I am about Tua and the offense scoring touchdowns. Honestly, Lisa, I'm worried about everything. I'm worried that we got a terrible coaching staff. I'm worried that the offensive line's not going to hold up and get Tua killed again. And certainly I'm worried that defense can't. Like today, Jerome Baker's out. Like, who cares? Like the way Jerome Baker's played, who cares? If we were going to get the Jerome Baker from last year, then okay, that's a loss. The Jerome Baker from this year, no, it's only a loss in the bank account.
You know what's funny, to me is last year at this time, I'm probably saying, okay, Brian Flores got beat the first game, but I could see him making changes
Right.
and doing better. But everything I've seen this year,
No, nothing.
I don't believe anything the coaching staff will be able to do to come back and look better this matchup.
There is no hope right now, unfortunately, with the coaching staff. That's why I started the show by saying, it's up to Flo to prove that he can be a difference maker. And right now is not the time, that's for sure. Where's Brian Flores of 2020? Rosendo, I have no idea where he's at. Yeah, I have no idea. But Rosendo, you're more than welcome to come on out here and have some breakfast again like you did last week. Come on out. Scott Jackson says the Dolphin players are begging for a captain at QB so that Tua groupies don't blame them because they would never blame Tua. Scott, if you think Tua's the problem, my brother, Tua's the only one that's actually fought through adversity so far this year. Last week, he made 2 enormous mistakes, and then he came back and fought back and got it done. That's something that when you see the defense give up points and then they got to make a stop, do they make the stop? No. Have you watched the coach make adjustments? No. So if you think Tua's the problem, man, I get it. Some of you out there, you're size queens, and you think every quarterback in the world's got to be 6'5" and has to have a cannon for an arm. Alan Shannon says, I'm from Washington, and Gaskins was a stud. Need more playing time and a better line. Yes, I agree with you. Dolphins shouldn't punt today. Go all day and no field goals. Well, Richard, if you're on your own side of the field, I don't think you want to be doing that. You know what? I don't even think you want to do it if you're on their 40 and on.
If that's the game plan, I'm going over. I'm
bet
the over.
Bet the over for sure. For sure. Jay No says, such a good point. I need the coaches to show up today. They have yet to show up all year. Sean says, Big O, how do you feel about Mana? Reasonable market cap for growth, no oversaturations of coins, tech directly related to metaverse. Lots of things to like about it. Sean, I've been talking about Mana for over 8 or 9 months already. I've been talking about Decentraland for a while. You don't get into Mana now. This is not the time to invest in Decentraland. You don't invest in anything that's gone parabolic. Okay? I was talking to everybody about Mana when it was down in the 60 cents range and the 70 cents range and the 80 cent range and the 90 cent range. And then I stopped. And now it's up to 265. So those of you that invested in Mana, when I told you, you are now in the money. You're in the money. So yes, I've been talking about Decentraland for a while, my friend. So yes. Love Mana, but you don't invest in it now. So wait for some kind of a dip or something like that. Dolphins drafted Tua and we're Dolphin fans, but some like me have become Tua fans. Derek Sibley says, Herbert, yes, Flores needs a creative OC, and I think Flores should be calling the defensive plays and not Boyer. He doesn't have enough. He when you're a head coach and a new one, you can't be doing that. You're not, it's just, it's the burden is too much for coaches like that. Big O is a crypto size queen. Well, thank you, Scummy. I appreciate that. Let's see. Big O, do you like the Foo Fighters? Of course, Emilio. I've seen the Foo Fighters a couple times. They're freaking awesome. Love the Foo Fighters. Alan Shannon says, Josh Allen is bigger and stronger. Tua won't ever have those traits or a good arm. He has a good arm, bro. He has a good arm. He has as good an arm as Montana and Breeze. They're both in the Hall of Fame. So, Alan, stop with stupidity. Don't be an idiot. All right, Alan? Don't be a moron. I mean, this whole thing about an arm, that doesn't guarantee you anything. Jamarcus Russell had an arm, and Jim Everett had an arm, and Jeff George had an arm. Doesn't mean jack squat, dude. God, man, some of you out there, you are just, you know nothing about football. You just kind of watch it, but you really didn't learn a damn thing. That's the problem with some of you out there. No difference between Tua, Montana, and Breeze. No different. They're all the same. They were all probably born in 3 different cities. That's about it. Same dude. Not very tall, not a big arm, all smart, all accurate, but that's all right. Big O, I have a tradition of wearing a paper bag over my head and Dolphins jersey every year. No need to buy a new costume. Nope, you don't. No. Today, Halloween, you can walk out with a bag over your head. You'll be fine. Let's see. Jay Schrader, big arm. What else do we have here? Diane Mayer says Druckenmiller had a cannon, and he was huge. And he didn't have a brain, however. No, he did not. Alex says it's amazing how some people still think Tua has a noodle arm. Do you watch Dolphin football? It's just they hear one person say it, so then they don't think for themselves, right? And so that's why you get those stupid answers. That's why you get that kind of talk. That's the problem. Greasy's the same guy, by the way. Greasy's the same guy as Tua. Greasy, Tua, Breeze, Montana. They're all the same. Chad Pennington was those guys. The only thing is Chad was taller, but he had the same arm as those guys. Didn't have a great arm. It got worse with all the injuries. But Chad Pennington was a guy that could win because he was accurate, man. Ball placement, anticipation. When you can do that, you're fine. I mean, it's like I got to go through this every week because we get a couple people that join in and they've got this, stupid ass look at what a quarterback is supposed to look like. And they think they're all supposed to be 6'5" and a cannon for an arm. Jay Hurd says, Big O, today's the day where we learn about the coaching staff. We've been a failure as a unit. Similar Flores year 1. Can we make the adjustments? And can Tua lead? Jay, why would you say this one game? It's 10. What about Jay? Let's say today they go out and they have a great game against the Bills today. They're fantastic today. They win 30-10. Everything went well. But then for the next 5 weeks, they play like they played for the last 6 weeks. Then what do you say? So the one game against the Bills, you're fine with the coaching staff, but then the next 5, they stink it out? Come on, man. That one game is not it's not the threshold. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like this. Everything comes to a head right now. That's it. The rubber meets the road right here in this game. No. Not even close. Oh, Manny J. Snow, a little love on the super chat. He says Flo damaged his rep by just dismissing proven OCs and thinking he could just put anyone in there for his young QB. Do better, Flo. Amen to that, Manny. Amen to that. Absolutely irresponsible what Flo did with the offense this year. I am with you 1,000%. Remember, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Michael Cotto, thank you, sir. A little love on Venmo. Thank you. Get yourself a beer for this game, brother. It's going to be rough. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you, man. Very kind. Chiming in on the Venmo. Very nice. Big O, can Tyler Van Dyke save Manny? We'll find out. He's doing it so far. Well, actually, I think he saved them already.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he did save them already.
Yeah, I think he saved them already because I don't think there was going to be any firing anyway. But for craps and giggles, with these 2 wins, I can guarantee you Manny will never get fired this year. No shot.
Can I ask you something about the Hurricane? I know this is Miami Dolphins pregame. I apologize, but they started with Derek King, right?
Yes.
Tyler Van Dyke.
I
It
know
looks
where you're
like
going.
a completely different offense
I know where you're going.
with Tyler Van Dyke there than it did with what was built around Derek King. Am I wrong at looking at that? Because it looks totally different to me.
All right, you bastard. You're taking away my segment for tomorrow.
Never mind. I'll ask tomorrow.
So, one of the things I was going to ask in tomorrow's show is, did Tyler Van Dyke was Derek King the wrong quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes? And I say that, and I feel dirty when I say it because I'm a huge Derek King fan. I love the way the kid carries himself. I love the selfless attitude he has. I love the leadership that he brought to the table, and he's a good player. There's no doubt about it. But Derek King is a better quarterback, is a better passer. These are things that sometimes people have a problem in understanding the difference between a passer and a thrower. And we talk about it in pitching. In pitching, there are these guys that can throw 102 miles an hour and all that stuff, but it doesn't move. Meanwhile, here's Greg Maddux, who's going to the Hall of Fame. And in the era of steroids, he's throwing 85 and 87 and changing up and moving it and putting it in one corner or the other corner and keeping you guessing the entire time. And your steroid-filled self can't find the baseball. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a pitcher. He wasn't a thrower. You know, there are some of those guys that can just blow it past you, but there are plenty of guys that can, their bat speed is fast enough that they can catch up to it. But the guy that can move the ball and place it wherever he wants, that guy's God. And the quarterback that can throw the ball is God in my book. And that's, by the way, going back to Tua, he can throw the ball. The kid has got accuracy. The kid has got anticipation and ball placement, which to me are way more important than having a rifle. Okay? It's great to have the rifle and the accuracy, and I think that's what Tyler Van Dyke has. I mean, 2 weeks ago when he did that little sidearm throw that he had to kind of get around one of the defenders in order to do that, that's having a skill set that you can't teach. And Derek King, it will never be considered a great passer. He's a great athlete playing quarterback. That's the difference. That's what Lamar Jackson is, a great athlete playing quarterback. He's not a quarterback that has great athleticism like Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray. Those are quarterbacks that have athleticism. Ryan Tannehill and Lamar Jackson are really athletes playing quarterback. It's a difference. There's a difference between those kind of guys. And I'm wondering if you started the season with Tyler Van Dyke, would you have been a better team? Because Sean was onto it, and I thought the same thing as I'm watching it. This is a much better offense. And I'm also watching a much better passer. Derek King may have more experience, will probably have more leadership right now than Tyler. But Tyler is the superior passer right now. And to me, I kind of thought to myself the same thing yesterday, Sean. I go, would their record be as bad as it is right now if Tyler Van Dyke was the guy? Actually.
Yeah, because it just seems like Tyler has that I'm not going to let this team lose mentality.
Right.
Because they got down. I mean, Pickett brought him back again, and then he went down and got the score that they needed to get. He has that you talked about earlier, the moxie. He really does.
Yes. And he finds a way to make a play. And he can make it from the pocket. You know, he can make a living from the pocket. You know what I mean? Like Derek King cannot make a living from the pocket. Lamar Jackson cannot make a living from the pocket. They have to use their legs in order for their game to be successful. Tyler Van Dyke doesn't have to use his legs. He uses them as a final resort. But before that, he's going to make a play with his arm. So I would have, look, none of us know the answer. But I will say this, the Canes are a completely different team on offense with Tyler Van Dyke playing. No doubt. And here's the other thing. I love Cameron Harris. He's a lunch pail type guy. The Rooster is explosive. Like, every time he touches it, he can house it. You know what I'm saying? So I think also it's not just Tyler, too. They're playing some of the younger guys, Tyreek, all these kind of guys yesterday that are just making plays now, man. And so some of these young guys are looking better than some of the older guys that you had playing, too.
Yeah, which I think is different for Manny because he always, at least the knock on him has always been he kind of has the guys that are going to play. And you've seen it over and over at the receiver position. The seniors and the juniors played before some of the younger guys. I think now he's taking that step back and he's getting the payback because those players are playing for him.
Yeah, they are. So there you go. I know it's the Dolphins pregame, but I was going to talk about that tomorrow, but Sean, of course,
I apologize,
sped it up. So I will think of other things to talk about. And that's my job anyway, so we can do that. We're all right. Ross Romero says, you're all disrespecting Joe Montana. I'm out. Yeah, Ross. Sure, bro. Yeah. I forgot more football than you'll ever know, Ross. All right, buddy? I forgot more football at 25 years old than you'll ever know, Ross. And that was, 29 years ago. No, 30 years ago now. Under center, you could probably 3-step drop and hit receiver way quicker. Well, that'll be Tua's game today, because I always love the people. See, yeah, I can always tell people's football knowledge. Well, why don't they go deep? Well, they can't go deep. If Tua takes a 7-step drop and wait for a deep play, he's dead in the water. I love people like that. Like, you're not watching the game. Like, the guy can only make 3 steps and get rid of it quickly because that's a smart thing to do behind that line. You think you can sit back there and start smoking a cigar and pick out a receiver? If Tua decides to part ways with the Finns, what team do you see him with? Tua, why are we going to even go there right now? Let's wait till that actually happens, and then we'll talk about it. And that's I'm talking about the current Dolphins right now and hoping that they can win. Jay says, Big O, was thinking about your point about rubber meeting the road today. I'm curious, what do you expect to see today from Miami? I think Flores has been a problem, but when do you throw the towel in? We'll talk about it towards the end of the season, Jay. But I'm just hoping for, dude, I just want a respectable performance from the Dolphins today. That's all, man. Just respectable performance. Big O, what are your thoughts on Duke Johnson, a running back who has fumbling issues in Cleveland, and he was 4 wins in 3 seasons. Well, I'm not going to blame him for the 4 wins. Duke Johnson is a pass catcher. That's it. That's all he is. That's all he's ever been. You don't use Duke Johnson for his label. Running back. Okay? Duke Johnson is nothing more than a 3rd down receiver out of the backfield. That's what he's been. That's what he's been his whole career. God bless him. He's made a career in the NFL out of being a pass catcher. And you can do that. The Dolphins activated Patrick Laird today. Would you run Patrick Laird or would you just throw it to Patrick Laird? Answer. So, yeah. Anyway, he's not the answer to anything. He's just depth with injuries that you have now. MJ Safra says, Big O, you mentioned with Omar, if you were the Dolphins owner, you would not allow trading for Watson as owner of the Finns. How would you fix the team going forward? Well, you know what, MJ? When we get to the end of the season, then we'll talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that now because I need to know what happens in the next 10 games. And then I need to know who's available and how you do it. Right now, I don't know anything. That's like asking me about the draft now. let's wait. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about the now, in the moment, and then we'll get with everything else. You know what we got to do now is take a break and get ready for hour number 2 live from Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. Come on by. It's our final show here at the Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. We move over to Bird Road for the next 9 games. We'll be on the Bird and 114th, right there, right off the Turnpike, starting next week. Sean and I will be out there for the next 9 games. So please come on out and join us at the Bird Road location. But today is our final day at the Miami Lakes location. So come on out, man. I'm looking forward to that. All right, let's take a quick break. Hour number 2 is next right here on the Big O Radio Show.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back. Thank you for joining us. As always, appreciate all of you out there. Remember, 855-912-1056 is the text line. That's 855-912-1056. And it looks like the market is bouncing back. The crypto market, that is, bouncing back strong, man. SHIB up to 70 now. Ethereum is climbing back at 42.25. At 425, that is. Let's see. Bitcoin is up to, it was at 59. It's now at 60,780. So it's headed to 61. Cody has gone up 12%. Cody is up to 67%. And I told a lot of you guys about Cody when it was at 18. Then it went up to 30. And I reminded folks to get into Cody. And it went up to 50. And now it's gone from 50 that it found the floor up to 67 now. Cody, man, I tell you, Cody is going to explode. I'll give you another one that I am now becoming a fan of, and that's Nervos, and it's CKB, and it's just under 2 cents. It's at 1.9 right now. And in this recent dip, I ended up getting a little bit more. And not to get too deep into crypto on a pregame show, but inoperability is a problem in crypto. And these folks, okay, crypto's already ahead of its time. And so the world needs to catch up to crypto. Like 95% of the world doesn't even know anything about crypto. Everybody that even has heard of Bitcoin, they really don't know what Bitcoin's about. So when it comes to all of that, and there's a problem like wallet to wallet. If sometimes one wallet can't speak to another wallet if you want to transfer coins. If a DEX is on Cosmos, it may not connect to a DEX that's on Polygon, or a Polygon DEX may not connect to one that's on Polkadot, or one on Polkadot may not connect to one on Ethereum, and so on and so forth. And so what this does, what CKB does, is they are building the bridges to connect all of those kind of things. And so their crypto's already ahead of everybody else as it is, and it's the future. This company's getting ahead of the issues that are going to be arising from all those things. And those of us that invest in crypto, you will notice that sometimes one won't play with another, and that becomes a problem. And that's what they're doing. And they're the first at doing this. And right now it's a really cheap one. So I think it's a nice hold, and you sit on it. And I think next year it starts to go. Although today it's up almost 2%. So it's funny because there was a little dip overnight, and I saw it, and I saw Nervos went down a little bit. And I said, you know what, let me go buy a little more CKB there. Let me grab a little more CKB just in case, because I think it's going to go up down the line. So that's what, and it's part of Cardano too. So it's on the Cardano ecosystem also. So there you go. That's just a little crypto for you on Nervos Network, CKB. All right, there you go. All right, So, like, the guy was asking me about Mana Decentraland, and like I've been talking about that for a while now. And so you guys got to listen more often. Or hey, man, this gentleman next to me does a marvelous job of slicing up the show, of giving you all the different elements. So if you only want to hear me talk about crypto, then that's it. You only want to hear me talk about the Heat that day, or the Panthers, or the Marlins, or the Dolphins, or whatever it is, you can pick and choose a la carte, man. You know what I mean? If you like to sit there and listen to the whole show, then that's great, and we love you for it. That's usually the file that's downloaded the most, actually, is the complete show. But all the other ones also get downloaded because there are people that just want to hear one specific thing or another. Big O, isn't that what XRP is doing? No, XRP is currency for the internet. It's a little different. And they're also tied to a lawsuit. XRP is what Stellar does. Okay, there's a couple of those are the same things. Okay, things like that is what they're doing. It's more about payments. These are bridges and so that way you can do your transactions. Now they have to go they have to add the Nervous network and go use their what's it called? Their blockchain in order to connect yourself. It's a different thing than what XRP is doing. That's a whole different ball game. Let's see. If you want to come here and roast Big O or Tua, I love it. I got my popcorn ready. There you go. All right. You can roast me all you want. The weather is like 55 and cloudy in Buffalo, not really Dolphin type weather. 55 Q Susie is perfect football weather. That's not bad weather. That's great weather for football. Okay, that's not too cold. That's perfect. In fact, it keeps you a little bit more comfortable out there at 55. 55 is a sweet weather for football. If it's not going to be hot and humid, so Miami can have some kind of an advantage, which last time I checked, that didn't help. Wasn't it a 1 o'clock game and everything, the Bills game? Yeah, it was a 1 o'clock game. So, and we were closer to the summer and everything. So, you know what I mean? If that didn't help us, so, it may not really matter much. So it's all good. Thomas says, why not line up Agba and Phillips on the left side to make Josh run to his left? He is inaccurate when chased out of the pocket to his left and is deadly when he escapes and runs to his right. My brother, I don't know what the hell to do. I don't know what would create an advantage at this point. You might be right. I don't know. Let's see. Big O, how did you become a Dolphins fan? My dad, dude. Born in 66. And so I grew up with my dad was a rabid Dolphins fan, like maniacal Dolphins fan. So I would sit there and watch all the games with him when I was a child. And so we grew up, and then we started going to all the games. By the mid-70s, we were at the Orange Bowl for all the games. We had season tickets from the mid-70s through, I want to say, late 80s but the late 80s, I kept on with the season tickets in the new stadium, and then I let it go because then I got in the business. So, yeah. Now, we had season tickets for a long time. We were in the box on the bowl, in the Orange Bowl. It was fun. Visitor side. So, yeah, I became a monster Dolphins fan. So my dad and I used to go to all the games. We'd go to all those games, and then we'd also go to the baseball games at the Miami Baseball Stadium. All the Orioles-Yankees games, because he was a Yankees fan, and all the Orioles-Phillies games, because I was a Phillies fan, and I was a Mike Schmidt guy. So there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, all I had down here when I was a kid was UM. We'd go to an empty Orange Bowl to see UM in the 70s. The Dolphins, a little Strikers action came in the late 70s, early 80s. That's it. That's all we had, man. We didn't have that. And then spring training. That's what we kind of grew up with. That's why I was a Phillies, Sixers, and Flyers fan growing up. I only had the Dolphins. That's it. That's all I had. So my baseball team was the Phillies. My basketball team was the Sixers. Loved the Doc, and then obviously the Broadway Bullies there, the Flyers. So there you go. Let's see. Big O, did you see that Phillips only got 17 snaps last week? What are your thoughts on that? I don't know. I told you, Dana, I'm not blaming the players. I'm blaming the coaches. The coaches haven't gotten enough out of this team. We have veteran players that are struggling and not playing well, like Jerome Baker, like X, like Byron Jones. They're stealing money without a gun and mask. We have young players that are underachieving. We have an offensive system that is so dysfunctional that you've got 87 dudes making calls. I don't trust this coaching staff as far as I can throw them. I hope I'm clear enough on that. That's how bad it is with this coaching staff. It is absolutely terrible with this coaching staff. So for me, the biggest problem on this team is the coaches. That's the biggest problem. They're the reason why this team is so bad. I believe if you had an excellent coaching staff, the Dolphins would have a winning record right now. That's how bad I think these guys are. Instead of 1-6, I bet you'd be 4-3, 5-2 with a real coaching staff. So I don't know what I don't know what to think anymore. I think the players are being cheated by their coaches. That's the problem. Look, last 2 weeks, I think Tua hasn't, for those of you that hate Tua, I guess I'll never convince you, and that's fine. But Tua, 32 of 40, 291 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 brutal interceptions. But he had 80% completion and a 109 QBR rating. And then against Jacksonville, he was 33 of 47 for 329 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Bad one, too. But he completed 70% of his passes and has a 95 QBR rating. QB rating, not QBR. QB rating. I mean, 109 and 95 are your QB ratings the last 2 weeks. 70 and 80. So you're completing 75% of your passes. And I get it that they're short and intermediate stuff, but that's all he can do. He can't throw deep right now. And it's not because he can't throw the ball deep, because we saw him at Alabama do it. That's not the point. The point is he can't drop back and wait for a long developing play because he will get killed. I think Tua at times has played well. And you know what I would encourage all of you out there? Go to YouTube and go see Kurt Warner's follow-up video on Tua. He posted it on Friday, I believe. And it explains everything going on with Tua. And let me tell you something. You can watch it and watch a quarterback. You watch his breakdown, he'll tell you if a guy's struggling, and he sees a lot of improvement in Tua. Look, in my eyes, and I guess it all depends on how you look at it. To me, Tua is not the problem here. Coaching is the problem. You've set up the kid for failure. You don't give him an offensive line. You don't give him a running game. You don't have a great defense. You have terrible coaches, and you told him you don't want him anymore. I mean, you couldn't have created a more dysfunctional situation for your quarterback than what you have already for the Miami Dolphins. And the kid has acted professional the entire time. He has handled all of this way better than the franchise has. That's for sure. I think slowly but surely Tua is winning some people over, and they're kind of realizing, okay, this kid's stuck in crap. Like I said earlier in the week, and Sean, put it out on the podcast. You put him behind the Tennessee Titans with that line and that running game, and he'd be kicking ass. You put him with Sean Payton, and the New Orleans Saints would be a playoff team. But you have to put him somewhere where they actually understand what to do with him and how to complement him with players. Because every quarterback in the history of time has to be complemented with things in order to succeed. As we've mentioned many times, that's why, my favorite Dolphin of all time, Dan Marino, didn't win a Super Bowl because you didn't give him a running game and you didn't give him a defense. So your quarterback can't do it all by himself. Because some of you have this attitude like, Tua should be the difference and should be. No, man. Not if you can't block, not if you can't run, not if you can't defend, not if you can't coach. Hard to make chicken salad out of chicken, you know what? Let's see. Ross says Tua isn't the problem, but he's not the answer either. That's the truth. You can still win with a guy like that, but you know what he is, so you got to build around him properly. Yeah, like they did with Drew Brees. So I'm not exactly sure what your point is. They built around Drew Brees. Why can't they do the same thing here? So, Ross, it's kind of a contradicting answer that you gave there. How is he not the answer either when you say you can still win with a guy like that? So then is he not the answer or you can still win? Because Tua is better than Trent Dilfer. And if you won with Trent Dilfer a Super Bowl, you can win with him. I'm sorry. I don't know. If you win with Brad Johnson a Super Bowl, you can win with Tua. Right? If you can win a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, can't throw more than 10 yards, then I think you can win with Tua, right? So we'll see. Jay Hurd says, we have the ability on this team. It can change. We're making a big mistake at right tackle, and we need to press the receivers. Raekwon needs to have a day to make Allen uncomfortable. That would be nice. And that's a good point, Jay, about caving in the middle of that pocket and do not allow him to step up and throw there. But then again, you got to have the defensive ends to kind of corral him, because once he gets to the outside, you're done. You're toast. Tuana says, hey, bro, I have a question for you. I'm doing a survey for research at my school. Will you support me? The question is poetry for emotion or passion? I think it's both. I think a poem can be passionate and can inspire, and I think a poem can be emotional and move you in many different ways. So I think it can be used for both. All right? That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Greer coin is going down big in the crypto market. Yeah, right now Greer and Flow are they're in a crypto crash right now is what they are, unfortunately. Yes. Let's see. See, you got black on for today's funeral, Big O. Well, no, I actually got a Metallica shirt on in honor of the fact that next week when I pull into Bird Road, I just got off a plane from Atlanta to go see Metallica, Greta Van Fleet, and Cage the Elephant. So there you go. So next weekend, Saturday night, I'm in Atlanta. I'm flying in Saturday morning. I'm going to go see Metallica, Greta Van Fleet, and Cage the Elephant. And then I'm flying back in the morning, like at 5 a.m, getting here like at 7. And then the wife will pick me up and take me over to Sports Grill and do my thing. So, yeah, next weekend is going to be a challenging one. And then later on this month, I go to Cleveland at the end of the month on the 30th and the 1st. I'm going to go up to see Genesis at the Cleveland Arena. And we're also going to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the NFL Hall of Fame, too, at the same time. We're going to do all of that in less than 48 hours. So let's see. Hawaii Dolphin says Tua won the national championship coming off the bench. The kid's got moxie and courage. Give him some time and a better O-line and real offensive coaches. Tua needs real offensive coaches. He doesn't have real offensive coaches. But I'm with you, Hawaiian Dolphin fan. I'm with you all the way. Tua's got it, man. Look, the only thing I've ever been concerned about with him is injury history. That's it. I am convinced he can be a player at this level. Fade to Black is Metallica's best album. Lots of people love that album. Would you all stop with the he's not the problem, but he isn't the answer? This is so idiotic and completely nonsensical. Jeez. That's Irving. Thank you, Irving. Big O is living the dream. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, sir. Thank you. I get to work with Sean every day. That is living the dream. Get to do this every day. Living the dream. Get to go see Metallica, Greta, and Cage the Elephant next week. Living the dream. Got a beautiful wife, beautiful daughter, and 5 beautiful dogs. Living the dream. The crypto market kicking ass. Living the dream. If Sheeb gets to 10 cents, living like a millionaire. If Sheeb doesn't, then I'll be a working stiff for the rest of my life. But that's all right. That's all right. It's all good. It's all good. I don't have the one thing is I've never been afraid of work. So that's a good thing for me. Zachary Gibbons says, hey, Big O, what are your plans for Halloween night? No, tonight, nothing. Tonight I'm just driving home and relaxing and chilling and doing zero. Chilling, bro. So if anybody knocks, we'll give them candy, but very few kids knock anymore. You barely see any kids anymore in our neighborhood. Big O, does Preston Williams need to go? He's out yet again, and this time undisclosed reasons. Spook, you need to go to the beginning of the show. In the first hour, early on, I talked a little bit about Preston. I already addressed that. Darren Lee says, I admire Phil Collins, but it's really tough to watch him perform now. I know. You can tell that he's in discomfort and pain. I've seen Genesis a few times, and this is my last time that I'm going to see him, so that's why I'm going. Plus, I get to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I've been to the NFL Hall of Fame, but I haven't been there since Dan, so I'm sure they've added a few things. Several people have been inducted since Dan, so I'll be able to go check it out. I'll be able to see Jason Taylor's bust, actually. So there you go. I'll take a pic with Jason Taylor. Oh, you got to check out Slash and Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Joaquin already did that, my man. 2.5 years ago. I saw him at the Hard Rock in Orlando, and it is a phenomenal concert. I was right up front over there standing, and it was a great show, dude. So yes, I am with you, and they're taking. I'm looking forward to the new album. I'm going to buy the new album. I have the first one. It was excellent. Yes, I'm with you. Miles Kennedy is fantastic, dude. So, yes, I am all over it, my friend. I know Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators very well, along with Slash. Going to see Metallica on Thursday in Miami. There you go, baby. Good for you. But you won't see him with Greta and Cage the Elephant. That's why I'm going up to Atlanta. But, yeah, no, you still get to see Metallica, so that's freaking awesome. Masters of Puppet is my favorite Metallica, says Diane. I'm a Ride the Lightning guy. That's my favorite album, Ride the Lightning. Let's see. Mike says, lining up excuses for Tua before the game even starts. He needs to perform, including the deep ball. Yeah, Mike, but again, it shows that you know nothing about football. You can't do a deep ball if you can't block and give him time for the play to develop. But, hey, Mike, you stay with your remedial knowledge of football, my man. Way to go, Mikey. Cantania don't know squatania about football. Mauricio Ortega says Tua is tough. He trucked the free safety from all. It was great. Yes, that was when he ran into him to get the first down. Yep, Big O, I can't stand seeing heavy formations on offense in short yardage situations on offense. Do you think Brown could be an addition by subtraction? I feel like we bacon predictable with him on the field. Oh, yeah, we are kind of predictable on the field with him. Well, he's injured now, so they got to go another way. Big O, what would you think of the idea of a documentary about David Woodley? I don't think it would be very interesting for a lot of people except us old Dolphin fans. If you do documentaries, it's got to be Dan Marino. It's got to be Jason Taylor. It's got to be Zach Thomas. It's got to be somebody that has made a major, major impact. You know what I mean? Woodley, bless him and rest in peace, obviously. And he had a rough end to his life. I know that. But I don't think that a David Woodley documentary would be, something that a lot of people would be going with. Big O, be hilarious. That's what Jody Joe says. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. And Jeremy says, thanks for responding to my question about Duke Johnson. You're welcome. Robert Newman says, I don't know. I know you don't know the Dolphins game, but I'm listening to you until the game time. I will also be in Atlanta next week, Robert. What, for Metallica? Well, let's have a beer, dude. Send me a DM there on Twitter when you're in the arenas. I would love to meet any of you Atlanta folks that listen. And I know a lot of you in Atlanta listen because Atlanta is constantly, for the first few years of doing this podcast, Atlanta's constantly in our top 10 listening. I mean, it is a staple. We have a lot of people that listen in Atlanta, actually. So when I go up there next week, would love to meet up with some of you out there. Let's see. What are your expectations today for Tua? I want, you know what? I want him to play well. That's my expectations. Play well. Stay away from what I'd like to see him do today. And my expectations is, okay, you've made the big mistake the first 2 weeks, overdoing things and trying too much. Stay within the game. Don't make the mistakes because this team's already better than you. If you start making mistakes with Buffalo, you're going to lose by 400 points. So if you want to stay in the game, play smart. Don't make mistakes. Don't turn over the football. These are things that are incredibly important. So what I'm expecting from Tua is to play a clean game. Hopefully that leads to, a competitive one, maybe even a victory. I can dream. Was Kyle Lowry a good pickup for the Heat? Ian, he is now this year. He's a little older, so that's the only thing. I don't like about the Kyle Lowry deal, that it's several years and at his age. But at least for this season, let's live in the moment. This is a team that, if healthy when the playoffs roll around, they can make some noise, man. They can play defense. The deal may be ugly down the line, if his body can't hold up. So that's the issue there, my friend. Diane says, I love sanitarium, but Flores loves sanitation. He should just keep his mouth shut, and Greer would think he's a horse and let him go. A little Scarface. I like it, Diane. Mike Quintanilla says, Big O, he needs to find a way. That's good QBs do. To say he can't throw the ball further than 20 yards with what he has is BS. Well, Mike, hey, my brother, I can't help you if you don't know anything about football. So, end the conversation. Clearly. I'm not going to waste my time trying to teach you football, dude. So, maybe, you know what you should do, Mike? Come down here to Miami Lakes, sit next to me, and I'll teach you football, dude. I actually teach you what's going on, and maybe you can learn something. That way, when you open your mouth, you won't sound stupid. Would really help, I'm telling you. So, come on down. We'll guide you, bro. We'll give you a little bit of an education on football. Emilio says, progress. We want to see progress and defense. Bring the violence. That would be nice. Carlos C says, happy to be here at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. All I want for the team today is to compete. Go Tua. Carlos C, thank you for a little love. Thank you, sir. There you are. Like to put the face to the name. There we go. Thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. Appreciate it. Hawaii Dolphins says, Big O, Kyler Murray is awesome, yet he threw 2 or 3 interceptions last Thursday night. but gets a pass on criticism. But I do like Kyler. I think Kyler's a fantastic little player. And he's a young quarterback with a fantastic receiving core that I wish Tua had. Okay? I mean, an awesome receiving core that I wish Tua had. And he's going to make mistakes like all young quarterbacks. You know, we got some idiot Dolphin fans out there that think Tua's supposed to play this game where he never turns over the ball when he's still in his rookie year, technically. You know, all rookies make mistakes because they come from a level where they dominate because they're so good. And then they think when they get here, they can pull off some of the same things that they did in the prior level. And then they realize that they can't, but that's part of the education. And so you're going to make mistakes. If you expect Tua to go out there and play a clean game every week, that's unrealistic, man. It's unfair to him, especially with no offensive line, no running game, unreliable receivers. The only two guys he has right now that are reliable are Waddle and Gesicki. And let me tell you, he has a third reliable guy, but these morons won't use him. His name is Mac Hollins. If you actually would use Mac Hollins, he'll make plays for you, but they don't use him enough. That's why it's also coaching. But we have to allow a quarterback to learn. So maybe today he plays the kind of game that he plays well without the turnovers, and that's part of progress. Ladies and gentlemen, we have watched the Canes football team play some terrible football. Now, have they not gotten better the last 2 weeks? Yeah, that's part of the process. Young people need experience. Young people have to learn. Your children, as they're growing up, they are going to learn because they're going to make all kinds of mistakes in life. And there are many times that you as a coach, as a parent, you tell your child, don't do this because this and this is going to happen. And what does your child do? They think they can still get away with it. They do it, and then they get in trouble. Because I did it. My kids do it. Your kids do it. You did it to your parents. We all did it. And then we learn. And it seems like there's a group of Dolphin fans that refuse to allow Tua to learn how to play the game at this level. That they think the transition is supposed to be seamless. Oh, and by the way, it's going to be seamless with no coaches, no offensive line, no running game, no defense. But you expect it to be seamless. Come on, man. Remember, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. If you want to make a donation, Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. Miami Mike, a little love on the super chat. He says, normally it would be so Miami to win today, but this coaching staff is too sorry. That is true, isn't it, Miami Mike? That would be so Miami, that they'd win this week and then they lose next week to Houston. Right? That's our lives. You're right about that. You are so right, my friend. You are so right. Robert Newman says, I will see you in Atlanta for the concert. Which day are you going to the show? I have my son and wife with me. And he wants to meet with you. He has taken over my passion for sports way beyond where I am. Robert, I'll be there's only one show, right? I thought it was the 6th, right? Is it next Saturday? It's next Saturday. I'll be there next Saturday for the show. That's when I'll be there. There's 2 shows in Atlanta? I didn't know that. I'm going to Saturdays. That's all I can tell you. Because I'm flying back like 5 in the morning on Sunday, and I'll be here like, at 7:30, and then the wife will bring me over. I think I'm going to sleep in the parking lot of Sports Grill for a couple of hours.
I'll wake you up when I get there.
No, I'll be with my wife, so she'll wake me up. You know what I mean? She'll probably
she'll drop you off, and you'd be on the bench when I pull up.
No. I want her to in the SUV, kick the seat back. I'm going to tell her bring my pillow and everything, just so I can catch a power nap before I do the pregame next week. So, Robert, I'll be there on Saturday, my friend. Okay? So I'd love, remember, my Twitter is Big O Show, so DM me. Any of you out there that are in Atlanta, and maybe we can meet in one spot in Atlanta to have a beer before the concert. I would love to meet all of you out there, man. You guys know the stadium better than I do. So, Robert, give me a spot to meet at the stadium where we can have a beer and BS. Since you live there, you know it better than I haven't been to that stadium yet. So I don't know how to, so just tell me where to meet and I'll meet you guys out there, man. So any of you out there and wherever you guys pick a spot, I'll tell everybody else and we'll all meet there if there's anybody else in Atlanta that wants to meet and is going to the Metallica concert, obviously, because if you live in Atlanta and you're not going to the Metallica concert, or maybe we can meet outside before the concert. That way some people that aren't going to the concert, they can come by and hang out. So there you go. Because I know there's a lot of you out there in Atlanta because we get a ton of downloads in Atlanta, man. Lincoln says, any word on Dolphins trading out any players such as X or Jones, the staff will probably end up trading Gesicki. It sucks that we feel that way, right? It sucks that as Dolphin fans, we feel like it's always going to like fall apart at one point or another. It's just, I thought we lost this feeling. I thought we were headed in another direction after last year, man. That part just, it rips your guts out. This season just tears me apart when it could have been so much better, man. Robert Carrillo, thank you, sir. A little love. I appreciate you, my man, giving us some love on the Cash App. Very nice of you, sir. Very nice, very nice. Let's see. By the way, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the program. And, of course, remember, we will be back for the post-game show here. We will have Flo's press conference. We'll also have Tua's press conference and any other players that also address the media. We'll have all of that. And, of course, we'll have Omar Kelly chiming in post-game and Alan Poupar also chiming in post-game. Okay? Stephen Harris says, Halloween question. Is Cam Flo a trick or a treat today? Neither one. He's been a disappointment. That's the only thing I could go. I don't even want to call him either one of those. Emilio says, I still believe, Big O. I am naive. You, sir, is what we call a blind-ass fan. Let's give Emilio the BAF alert. Let's go.
Blind-ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind-ass fan coming through.
There you go. I always love the guy that runs into the wall. That thing is awesome. You don't go to the games like Omar does. When home, that puts you in the press box the way I grew up with Namath and the Jets and the Mets. Players and coaches and managers were all my neighbors. Okay. Dolphin Dustin says, I believe the coaching staff is inadequate. Look at quarters 2 and 3 and 4. They can't adjust to the opposition's counter play calling. We can't counter back. Not only that, Dolphin Dustin, they're so pathetic that they script their first drive and they're really good. And then after that, it's like, oh, there's the rest of the game. I didn't know we had the rest of the game. I thought we only had to do the first drive. It's the weird. They're so remedial as a coaching staff. I am telling you, this is why I call him Cam Flo now, because this is the worst coaching I have seen since Cam Cameron. That's how bad it's been with Flo this year. It's the worst coaching I've seen since Cam Cameron. That's why he's earned the Cam Flo line. Jay Gelfen says, since this is the last game you're doing from the Miami Lakes location, I may come down after work to hang out with you. Well, come on down, baby. Come on down. Have some great food, Jay. We got folks already coming in and gathering and getting ready. Red Horse Adventure says, the worst part of this misery is that it still feels like the team shouldn't do anything drastic. Yet, there's an inner voice that is screaming, do something. It is so tough for us as Dolphin fans. That's all I can say. It is a brutal situation for all of us. It's like we suffer on a consistent basis. It's a circle of suffering, a vicious cycle. Oh, by the way, Dolphin fans out there that, when you guys were, because obviously everybody's talked about replacing Coach Flo and all that. And so many of you keep mentioning, not so many, but a couple of you mentioned Jim Harbaugh. So I'm just wondering how you feeling about Harbaugh again after yesterday's debacle. He's got like the worst record in the history of college football against ranked teams or something. I forgot what the stat was they said this morning. And it is amazing to me how pathetic Jim Harbaugh is. And then what's even more amazing is that there's actually a couple of Dolphins out there that think he would be a good option for the Miami Dolphins. Just because he had a couple of seasons where things went well with San Francisco when they were super loaded because their GMs were the best GMs in football at that time. Those two guys were on a roll like nobody has ever seen and loaded up that team. I mean, it's really hilarious. Jim Harbaugh is such a freaking clown at this point. And guess what? Who tried to get him while he had Sperano in place? Ross. Oh my God. It's like we don't know how to get from, in front of ourselves without just trucking ourselves and screwing everything up. Like we're exceptional at screwing everything up. BB says the only thing that gives me hope about the way Tua has been treated in Miami is that he's mentally strong, young man. I just hope the team does him right in the offseason and brings in good coaches. BB, he's done, dude. It's over for Tua here. That I don't think there's anything to save. They don't want to anymore. Unless you're getting rid of the people that drafted him. Unless you're blowing out everybody and then the new coach comes in and wants to work with Tua, then okay. But I think Tua's done. I think they'll do everything in their power to replace him this offseason. So if they don't make the move for Watson, they'll make the move for somebody else. Chuck Cooper says, I'm a Michigan diehard fan and I'm ready for Harbaugh to go. You should have been ready years ago. Let's see. Todd Pigg says, what do you think about Brian Daboll as the next head coach? That's another, hot name, a hot coordinator. Nobody knows, my friend. There's no guarantee. Nobody knows if he can be a good head coach. That's the problem. It's a good pick because he's done a terrific job over there in Buffalo. He's done a great job of developing the quarterback. A quarterback that looked pretty bad. Bad at Wyoming. He looked terrible at the Senior Bowl. He was horrible his first year. And somehow or another, they've made him a damn good quarterback in this NFL. So he's done a great job, but that doesn't mean anything. Whether he can be a good head coach. That's the crazy part of it. But, I mean, it's a name that I'm not going to complain about and say, oh, my God, you shouldn't get that guy. You know what I mean? Give him a chance. Right at this point, we got nothing to lose. Now, I'm not saying to change coaches yet. I'm not giving up on Flo yet. I'm super pissed with Flo, but I'm not there yet. I want to see how he handles the next 10 games. I know some of you have already quit. That's not where I'm at yet. Q Susie says, everyone please pray for Tua. David Nagley says, Big O, I just woke up. Foreigner Journey or Slim Whitman? Tiny Tim. Okay, I want to tiptoe through the tulips. Andrew says, you really think Tua's done? Wow. I'm really sad. I live in Hawaii and watched Tua all through my high school at St. Louis School. Tua will be a very good QB, I believe. Man, I'm bummed now, Big O. Andrew, look how they've treated him, bro. Look how they've treated him. They've treated him like dirt. They treat him like he's a scrub. And they're so much willing to get rid of him that they will associate themselves with a guy that could be a sexual predator. Think about that. That you're not worried what the public thinks that you want Watson. You're not worried what women think, your female fan base, because you want Watson. Watson may be innocent, but he also could be guilty. And what if he is? What kind of a look is that? And yet, Tua is an exceptional young man, incredibly tough, mentally and physically, by the way, because he's come back from everything. Last week, he showed you awesome mental toughness that he made 2 brutal, inexcusable mistakes. And yet, he drove you back to give you the lead. That's what I love, man. That's my favorite quarterback to watch. The guy that screws up, but has the moxie to come back and doesn't fold like a cheap tent. So I'm with you all the way. With the right coach, with a Sean Payton, Tua will be a Pro Bowler. And you can win a title easily with Tua. But you need the right coaching. You need the right talent. They don't have that here. And it seems to me like they don't care, man. So I don't see them caring at all about Tua. That's just these are the optics. This is what I'm seeing. I don't know if you see it. Do you see it the same way, Sean, that they don't care about the guy? That they're dying to move on from him?
I mean, all their actions would suggest that.
Right.
And the fact, again, you know, they haven't come out and said anything to, I guess,
like, hey, he's our guy, and we expect to build around him for years to come.
Yeah, nothing.
Like, I don't know why we're involved in any rumors. We love our guy. We drafted him at number 5. We believe in him. Right now, he's not the problem. You know, you would be defending him.
And then look at what they had to do just to get that he's our quarterback barring injury for 2021.
Right, just for right. Big O, I'd take John Harbaugh over Jim. Yeah, well, we all would. Let's see. Richie Incognito got job. Just saying. Richie Incognito is a loser. Okay, that's the guy that sexually assaulted a girl at a golf tournament, a Dolphins golf tournament with a golf club. Let's slow your roll, bro. Okay? Slow your roll. I know he's a heck of a player. I know Miami needs offensive linemen and all that. He is literally several sandwiches short of a picnic. Okay? His elevator, it's not that it doesn't go to the top floor. It doesn't go midway up the building. So let's slow the roll, my man. But I get it. Maybe you're not a father and maybe you're not a husband. So to you, women don't mean jack crap. So I get it. You don't care if somebody disrespects women that way. How can I watch the game out of state? Leon, you know what I suggest you do, my man? Put your email on the chat board there. There's 400 people watching. I know somebody is going to be kind enough to send you a link on your email where you can watch it on the internet. So, Leon, let's help Leon Hunt out. He is a fellow Dolphin fan. And I know that we're not doing him a justice because if we give him a link, he's going to watch our team probably get massacred. But still, we love Leon. Leon is one of us. He's in our family. So it's all about hashtag Finn's loyalty. So, Leon, put your email here on the chat board, and somebody is going to send you a link so you can watch the game on the internet. I promise you. I promise you that, my friend. So put your email there on the chat board, send it in, so somebody will step up and help you out, because there's somebody on this chat board that's out of town also, and they're watching the game that way too, and they will help you out. Although Nickel says, Leon, go to a sports bar. Maybe he can't, man. Maybe he's got to watch his kid. Maybe his dog is sick. Maybe his wife is sick. Maybe he can't leave the house. Maybe he's working. You know what I mean? Let's help out. Let's help out Leon. Let's not pick on Leon. Let's help Leon, okay? We are a family. We are one here, okay? All of us together, baby. So let's help out Leon. Did Pickett's value rise or fall yesterday? Pickett's value is way up, dude. He's going to make a couple mistakes, man. What are you going to do? He's thrown 3 interceptions the whole year. Again, remember how I always tell you guys, macro, not micro. Okay? You got to look at the whole picture. And that kid played his ass off. I got his numbers here. He was 39 of 55, 519 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a lot of scrambling. Pickett is a badass. Okay? Any team that drafts Pickett, like if we didn't have Tua, and I know they're going to get rid of Tua anyways, but if the Dolphins drafted Pickett, I would be more than happy to have Pickett as the Dolphins quarterback. I love that kid, man. Damn, he is a stud, bro. No, he's not 5'9". Okay. Get me Pickett's height. I think he's like 6'1" or 6'2". No, I think he's like 6'2" or 6'3", actually. Give me his height. I think he's a little bigger than that, dude. Let's see. BB says, Big O, I live in upstate New York, and your Dolphins show is a godsend. Your show has kept me sane this season, especially. Hang in there, man. It's hard to stay sane, man. I know it's not easy, buddy. It really isn't. Why did the Dolphins take Tua if they didn't want him? Zachary? Dude, that's the biggest, mystery in the world. They drafted the kid, and it looked like they gave up on him in the first year. Not this year. It looked like they gave up on him starting last year. What is he?
Kenny Pickett, right?
Yes.
He is 6'3", 220.
That's what I thought. I told you, 6'2", 6'3". Yeah. I follow that because, I'm a Dolphins fan. So I follow all quarterbacks. Now, but plus, I love my draft stuff, so it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. Greer is the boss and forced Flo to start Tua. Flo had a press conference and said Tua was not ready days before the change. Go watch. Are Fins fans tired of being hustled? Yeah, that's not the case, bro. So, listen, bro, you can believe whatever you want and convince yourselves. That's not Greer. That's not what he does. So you don't really understand the man. What I think he's done is actually given Flo way too much leeway. He's allowed Flo to make way too many decisions. That's what I think has hurt Greer more than anything else. All right, we're out of here. We will see you on the post-game show. Appreciate all of you out there. Don't forget, you want to make a donation, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show, of course, or the Super Chat. You can also reach out on the text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Come on out to Miami Lakes, Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. We'll be out here all afternoon. Appreciate all of you out there. We'll see you post-game. Go Fins.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.